What is the message for the collective? All right, what is the message here for the collective, honey? We want to know. Resting, a break, maybe funerals or grieving the loss of someone could be significant. Putting in the work for years. Okay. 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 3:01. Damn. So I feel like a lot has transpired over the last several years, right? You could be in this space to where you're resting, taking a break, or your body and mind and soul is restoring itself. Especially from things that probably has already happened to you, your childhood. Okay, I feel like you had to mentally and emotionally heal and like let a lot of things go that no longer served you. So you can come into this new chapter, this new beginning, so that your ships are coming in, right? We got no need to change coming out in the reverse. You don't need to change anything about yourself, but I feel like regardless, there's no finish line to growth. So you're always changing, you're always evolving, right? A lot of people read reversals, right? I read them, but at times I know that even if a card is coming out in the reverse, it still could be meant to be said in its upright position. So for a lot of you guys, I'm seeing there's like no need to change. Whatever is going to happen, similar to fate and destiny, like it's just going to happen. It's given, you don't have to try so hard, okay? And then I'm also getting this energy that change is necessary. Whether it's a change of belief, a change of this, a change of that. Because be mindful, as you're shifting, as you're evolving, a lot of your old beliefs may not remain the same. Because they are beliefs. It's not a knowing. It's beliefs. Something that you feel is true, but that you don't really have facts on if it's true, right? And as I'm saying that, it says it's not the truth. So I feel like as you're shifting, as you're evolving, a lot of things that you probably soaked up in society or based on like your religion or whatever the case may be, that brought you into the individual that you are. But as time continues to go and you take in new information or you have your own personal experiences, I feel like slowly but surely certain things will change, and then there will be certain, painful situations or experiences, etc., that you go through to the point to where some things just don't remain the same, I feel like regardless, you do have a bright future ahead of you. You do. All right? And you know how we grow up feeling like, oh, everything was a lie. I was lied to. That's how I was able to have so much anger towards, religion. Because when I was taking information from the spiritual collective, they were also speaking from a traumatized space. From a space of projected belief systems. It happens to the best of us, right? But a lot of times I like to look at things as nobody has lied to me. I'm not some victim. It's just all about how I perceive something and what I thought the truth was. Like, I felt like since me feeling like, oh, they lied to me, then that's just what it's going to be. And then that's going to stir up some type of emotion, right? That's why I love how I created this saying that anything that's negative is false. Because some things you truly don't know, but you're able to believe in it, and it's able to have this huge, effect on you. So I feel like you're healing, you're planting certain seeds, you're probably experiencing nostalgia, looking at old photos, sharing, gifting, or being encouraged to, step into this inner child energy. You're emotionally detached or you're emotionally withdrawn from things, letting go of things that probably was close to your heart at some point in time. And I feel like all of this is just so you can come into this new version of yourself and of your life. You could have a secret admirer, or I'm getting energy that people admire you secretly as well. Like maybe this is something that you don't really know or people don't really tell you. That doesn't mean it's not true. Some of you guys probably didn't have the best home situation. You probably didn't know Like, say for instance, you probably didn't have a very peaceful childhood for some of you, or maybe you didn't have a very stable home situation where you had a divine masculine as a dad and a divine feminine as a mother. Maybe these people weren't as in tune with their emotions. Maybe they were, emotionally unavailable. Maybe they weren't as, in the best energy as parents, right? But they did all that they could. Especially growing up in a world where people are traumatized and projecting on one another. And I'm not validating who they are today or what they put you through. But this just shows you, don't allow your own beliefs or experiences to hinder you any more than what has already done. Because in reality, you could just be lying to yourself. Oh, I had the world's shittiest parents. When in reality, maybe that's how it looked. But maybe that's also from a traumatized perspective. Because if you're operating from the balance of psychology or astrology or spirituality, like just balancing all these things out, then maybe you'll get a different response. Okay? Allow love to fill your heart. Release regrets. Release mistakes. Heal and release. All right? Heal and release. This is how you want to be able to project on your own kids or other people's kids or other people. Because, you grow up, you probably come into tarot reading, and here you are traumatized, giving readings. Here you are non-committal in this, I'm independent, da-da-da. When, yes, that's good. But at the same time, I feel like life is supposed to be about working together, connections, standing together. It's probably why the world is so divided. All right? Inner growth here. The old you is long and gone. So allow this new individual to be filled with love and strategy. All right? We got I'm sorry. God wants to apologize on these people's behalf. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry that these people weren't in the best energy. But are you going to allow that to hinder you? That's why some of you guys have these sex wounds. You have these promiscuous relationships. It all started from somewhere, which I feel like it started from childhood. Some things are happening slowly but surely, right? Only because of the way your mind is. Only because of the healing that still needs to be done. Yep. So right now you could be separated from a karmic relationship, toxicity. You could be mentally freeing yourself from this relationship by healing, resting, taking a break, or you're being encouraged to do this. All right? A lot of you guys have been putting in a lot of work over the course of years. Now it's time to just have fun, celebrate. Right? Some of you guys are still hurting a little bit. Maybe it's not as deep as it was before, but the hurt is still there. And I feel like when this energy first was created, it was excruciating. It was agonizing pain, right? You could have first experienced this as a child, and from there it just continued, especially if you didn't really know how to heal when you were a kid. So it only really becomes submerged or deep rooted, right? Maybe it doesn't seem as very surface level anymore, but it's still there, whether you know it or not. So I feel like there's a lot of healing. There's a hurt little inner child that you have that needs tending to. Okay? Some of you guys are probably getting out of your emotions and getting into your bag. Or maybe that's what you're encouraged to do. All right? But of course, heal. I'm not saying avoid and stop being, in that energy. But yeah, move forward in today's time with enlightenment, with strategy, and with peace, especially with happiness. Yes.